All right, guys. My bad. Let's start with the live again. Let me know if I am audible now or not. Okay, then that is also not working. Okay, let me know if I'm audible or not. Yeah, sorry for the previous whatever it was. All right, all right. Give me 1 second. I'll just post it on my. Then we will begin. Meanwhile, if you have any stocks to ask, you can post them on the chat box. Small cap index starts to fall as soon as my stocks start going up. Still above this base, so if it starts breaking this base, you would want to exit your stocks. Okay, give me 1 second. Someone is asking about IEX. Ignore IEX, bro, if you are not sure why you are asking about it. Because I think it has been downtrending since a long time. Right? So I'll check. Just give me 1 second. I'll just post this and we will start with the question. Alright, also make sure that you like the stream as well so that it does not get lost on YouTube. Okay, NCC. Alright. NCC is down. NCC is breaking down on the hourlies. The daily probably it's stronger, but right now there's nothing. So the demand is actually it's coming down into demand right now. So NCC nothing yet. What you want to do is when things come down to demand, you want to actually wait for some hourly supply to get cleared. All right, because this is still downtrending, right? So until this actually starts to trend up on the hourly, it's still in a pullback mode, and this pullback might convert into an entire downtrend. So, so if this demand does not hold, then what might happen is it might go to this. So this is the hourly supply, right? And this is the demand. So it might go up, and then it might start to come down from here itself. All right, this pullback might not convert into a trend. So whenever things are pulling back, you want to wait for the hourly supply to be taken out, or if you can recognize any sort of contractions around this part before the supply is taken off, you can maybe buy there as well. All right. But again, the most important part in any swing trade is the index. I have been talking about it multiple times. If the index starts to fall, if the index starts to fall like it is right now, your stocks won't hold up. All right. No matter how good your stock is in the current scenario, it will not hold up, right? Your index will take down your stock eventually if it continues to fall. All right. So make sure that you first get good with tracking the index, right? Because this is the number one uh, Number one reason for stocks moving up. All stocks, when they move up together, when the index is going up, that is when the big moves happen. So currently, if you see, Bank Nifty is obviously downtrending. We have talked about it. Bank Nifty being weaker than Nifty. All right, this is underperforming heavily from this supply continuously. And Nifty was actually strong, but now Nifty is also, so Nifty, the last demand in Nifty is somewhere here. All right, and this is also looking like might go anytime. So this is Gift Nifty. Gift Nifty also, the demand is actually this low. So this looks like it can go anytime now, right? So don't be too confident about a big move not happening on the downside, because you have seen what can happen when the index actually falls. So take every pullback seriously, and when once this zone starts to break on the small cap index, so this is the small cap index 100 index, all right, small cap 100, and this has its demand zone low at 12,900. So this is the low, right? So once this starts to go, you can maybe see a straight line drop into this area, which is around 12,550, 12,500, 12,550, this entire area, right? So a big gap here. Um, so make sure that you are watching this area very, very close. Most of the bullish stocks, they are also falling. So be a bit careful. Things will start to underperform together suddenly. Exit on time, right? Get comfortable with booking out losses. Also, for the new people who have joined in, make sure that you like the stream as well. All right, so NCC, nothing there any right now. The index is also coming down. SKF again. So probably discussed here not to buy. It has come down to demand is kind of sideways because of the index. You can buy it, but I mean, I won't say you can buy it. The chart looks okay. All right, nothing bad about the chart. Uh, but you can probably wait for it to contract around this supply before you get in. Right. Again, I'm only advising about the chart. Don't have to take my word as a recommendation. Right. It's only about what I do with the chart. So it's kind of a discussion. So this supply right here is where I would buy it. All right. Maybe if some base is building up here, maybe if a sharp wick is there into the demand, right? Something like this. Then maybe I would buy in on this higher low. All right. Nothing yet. Nothing. Um. All right. IEX again, bearish stock. Uh, extremely weak. Probably below the 50 DMA also. Okay, almost there. Almost below it, below the weekly DMA definitely. So weekly is heavily downtrending. You want to trade stocks when the weekly EMA is sloping up. All right. When the weekly 50 EMA, when it's sloping up, that is when you want to buy stocks. Tanla platforms, is it right? Okay, let's check it out. You bought it on 13 June to 13 July. All right, so it's above the weekly EMA, which is good, but there is no entry here. So okay, so you took, okay, so demand zone is this one. You bought, okay, yeah, this is decent, not bad, not bad. Uh, Personally, I would want a much narrower range. So if you see, the range is very broad, so it means that it's very open right now. All right, so what I would want is, I would want it to maybe close this part out, and then the move might be quick. That is only for timing the move. Right, it's nothing related to the stock being bad. So if I go an example, so let's see something like something like this maybe, where you get a highest test of highest supply, and then the range went from this to basically this, and then it started to go out. Right, so I want the range to close out over time. So something like this as well. If you see, the range is closing out and then it's starting to go here as well, if you see. So I wouldn't exactly buy the stock from the demand. I wouldn't buy the stock from this part, because then it can spend a lot of time at the highest supply, which is not ideal for me, right? Because I want to move quickly. I want to be right or wrong very, very quickly. I don't want to wait around in the stock. So comes down to demand, the range shifts from this to basically this right here. All right, there is a tiny demand right. Sometimes it might just stay sideways and break out, but that is an exceptionally strong scenario, which might not happen all the time. So hopefully my point is clear now. And this might also happen sometimes. So you see, there's a huge supply coming in. It's just sideways at the EMA and then it falls. And this is actually uh, a shorting structure in O'Neill's William O'Neill's short selling book. So what he does is, let's say there's a big move in a stock. So let's take the index. So he's looking at a big move on the index. Yeah, so it's something like this. A big up move on the index and then the pullback to the 50 EMA. All right. So you can read the book. It's short selling stocks, making money by short selling stocks, or just short selling stocks. I don't really remember the name, but it can. So what happens is there's a sharp fall from the high to the 50 DMA. All right. And then the stock either wedges up. Basically, it means that the stock is going up in a channel towards the highs, and then there is a continuation drop here, right? So something like you see here, right? So this is one of the shorting uh, structures of William O'Neill. So you don't want to go long when something like this is showing up. You want, so what is the difference between what I do and this shorting structure right here? So what happens is there's a high, it pulls back. Now when it's wedging up like this, I am not trying to get in. I'm not trying to get in even here. I'm trying to get in when it's after the pullback, the second pullback, when it becomes sideways. This is where I'm trying to get into the stock. So this basically negates the supply which was about to come on this part. If you see, on this point, this move has happened here. All right. So once it goes sideways and it starts to show wicks at demand and it starts to try to break out, that basically indicates that this is a continuation base and maybe the supply at this point is not that strong, if that is clear with everyone. All right. So many of you ask me how I form my uh, trading strategies. How have I discovered what is the book resources? So this is how I've done it. All right. So you cannot find it directly in any book. You see what's you see in some book. You learn from some book that this thing is failing here. So if it doesn't fail here, this is the exact spot where the move starts, and this also coincides with Wyckoff's spring structure. Let's say there is a low here, and this low fails. This low comes back up, and then it starts going sideways. So this right here, combined with the 50 DMA and this supply right here, everything comes together to give you a bigger move. All right. So you won't find what I teach in one single book, but if you read multiple books, you can find parts of it every single. uh, I mean, a lot of books. All right. So don't try to and this is how you should do it, because let's say you're reading a new book, right? You are trying to uh, learn something out of it. If you already know something, you want to pick out things from the book which validate or invalidate what you know. So let's say you're doing something already, right? Let's say you are buying the breakout from a slanting trend line, all right, and the book tells you to do it from a flat trend line or the support resistance, all right. So obviously it's not like the charts are two different they're two different charts. Suppose you are buying right here and this is failing, but the book is telling you to buy right here. All right. So you want to understand what is happening in between those two things, between your entry and the entry in the book. What is happening that is leading to your entry to fail, but sometimes it's working out. And this is where you might discover something here which will enable you to buy even before the breakout of the horizontal line. This is clear with everyone. All right. So constantly have to try to optimize your entries. You cannot simply pick up concepts and translate them to good trading immediately. All right. That is not how it works. You want to be always closing the gaps, closing all these gaps. All right. Closing all the gaps in understanding. If you are not buying, if the book is telling you to buy after the breakout, you're buying on a trend line break. What is going on here? What is happening exactly? Because there might be a market where your trend line break might work all the time and the horizontal break will fail. What kind of market is that? So, so let's say when there is a downtrending market and this is a trend line break, you're buying here. Now, let's say this is a big impulse move. So this is the first zone after the impulse. So in this case, your trend line break might give you a move, but by the time a horizontal line is broken, the move is probably over. All right. So close these gaps in understanding. All right. Don't just study strategies just because they are strategies. Right. Try to close these gaps time and again. Until obviously there is nothing to close. Until you see that if you're trying to do one thing, the other is going bad. Right. Until you stop progressing, trying to take you're trying to optimize one thing and the other variable is going down. So in this scenario, you're done. This is the best you could come up with, uh, maybe until something else is discovered, right? So try to close these gaps whenever you are trying to trade. Okay, so what else? What else? Let's have a look at the index again for the people who have joined in uh, not too long back. Make sure that you like the video as well. Um, Helps me stay relevant. That's what it does. All right, so Bank Nifty very clearly bullish. Yesterday's very clearly bearish. Sorry, yesterday's candle not exactly good. So what is the supply? The supply is right here. Right, this supply is where uh, you want to watch. You want to watch the index. All right, so it failed from this supply yesterday in the second half. Right now it's kind of holding up. So what? Why is it pausing here? Is there any demand zone or something? So this is actually a very big base right here. Right, so all right, so this is a very big base. This demand can maybe lead to an up move, but don't try to do that because the index is downtrending on the daily chart below the EMA. All right, and these kinds of days where you see it's gapping up on one day, gapping down on another day, we have already talked about it. It happens. It happens in a downtrending market. All right, the down moves and the up moves both are extremely fast. So you don't want to chase a breakdown because on the next day it might go all the way up to the supply. Right, this has happened here as well. The immediate downfall from the supply, right? And this has happened all the time here as well, right? And some bit of here as well. So every single time you see, uh, this is you see it's closing here, and 2 days later it's right here, right? So again it's closing here. Next day it's above the previous high, and then it's below the previous, much below the previous low. A swing of how many points? And this is actually 30,000. So from here in 2 days, it went up 5%. Then it was down around 2%, 2.5%. Then it was up 2%. And then it was down 5% in just a matter of 1 week, right? So this is how downtrends work. You just have to stick to the supply area. Don't try to short a breakdown. It might not end well. Be very careful about it. And same thing here. If you see down one day, up next day, again down, up, and then starts to fall at the end. It's very difficult to time a breakdown because it's very, very volatile. Do not try to uh, short a breakdown. Again, same thing here. This time the supply got taken out, but look at how volatile it becomes before the next move. So this is what happens in downtrends all the time. You don't have to uh, second guess it. Just assume that this is going to happen and plan accordingly. So in this entire up move, if you just stuck to this supply, you would have probably shorted it 2-3 times already. So let's see where it goes. It's obviously bearish, and Nothing bullish until this supply is taken out. So even if it goes up today, don't jump in on longs, all right? Because this is the entire area of supply where which made the last low right here, right? And the volumes on the upside are not that good as well. So if you see, if anyone likes to do any volume analysis here, if you see, look at all the big drops. A big drop here, big volume spike. Again, a big drop, big volume spike. Again, this is a big drop, big volumes, big wick here, big volumes. Again, a big volume candle here. Um, Big drop here, big volumes, and this as well. So this entire area, extremely heavy supply coming in, right? So obviously positional longs will be above this entire area, but even short-term longs, at least this supply. So Bank Nifty is in very poor shape. In Nifty, it is kind of different. All right, Nifty is not exactly bearish yet because because Nifty is actually holding up. All right, so yeah, so Nifty is actually still above this demand zone. So Nifty can quite possibly go back up. But will I plan to trade this? I don't think so. Right? Until it's above the hourly EMA, I wouldn't plan to trade this. Right? So don't take longs, but don't short Nifty as well. Right? Let's wait for the bounce till the supply and see what happens. All right, IEX nothing, Tanla platform, okay. UCO Bank, again, weekly charts. If you're asking weekly charts, it means you are compromising on the daily chart. So, so what is there in this weekly chart? It's already gone. It's already pulling back. So nothing here. I think this is okay. This is also gone. So if you're asking about weekly charts, I will automatically assume that I would automatically assume that the daily chart is not good. That is why you're trying to look for something on the weeklies. All right. So if you find a weekly chart good, and only go after it if the daily is good as well. Otherwise, otherwise don't take it. Okay. FSL entered at 163. Now it's okay. FSL at 160. 163. This is actually a good entry. Good trade here. 163 is somewhere here. So this is okay. So 160 entry. How did you get an entry here? So maybe this entry would be good, 165. But this is not exactly a good entry because it's still going down on the hourly. So obviously demand zone is perfect. Demand zone is good. This is the zone which tested the supply, but you kind of rushed the entry, right? So be a bit careful. But still, demand zone is good, so that will save you 90% of the time itself. You don't have to time it very well, really. But yeah, but wait for the hourly to get better as well before you start taking entries, right? So let's look at CRM silk. CRM silk actually I was looking to okay, Sai silk. Okay, Sai silk is different. Sai silk you bought at 239. Okay, 239 again. This is kind of a low entry. Let's check. Hmm. Yeah. So don't enter consistently below the hourly EMA. All right, things can just continue to go down. Just because there is some previous demand doesn't mean it will go up all the time. You might get stuck trying to catch and remove directly from the demand. Demand zones are good, but entries You can wait a bit more. So let's take this example. So this has come down to this area of demand. That does not mean that I'll buy it straight away, right? Because there is nothing bullish about this. I'll buy it only when it starts to basically hold this area. So still has a long way to go from here, right? Probably how much? 5%. Yeah, 5% to go. So so wait for the stock to get bullish on the hourly as well. Don't jump in directly. Okay, so this is the supply in Bank Nifty. It's around 44,000 on the spot chart. All right, Arman Finance. Okay, a lot of people ask about. Okay, maybe looks good. No recommendation though. The chart looks good. Right. Tata Consumer. All right. Don't buy this. Don't buy FMCG stocks, especially large caps. If you want to catch a quick move, stay away from large cap FMCG, large cap pharma, and large cap IT. Right, Wipro, TCS, HCL Tech, all those stocks. Horrible. Large cap metal is good. Uh, Large cap metal is good for just for trading. I'm not talking about any sort of fundamentals here. Purely trading perspective. Uh, Catching a quick move. FMCG completely avoid it. Chemical stocks are also decent. They move well. Banks are excellent. Banks move very well. All right. Not the largest banks. Not something like HDFC Bank. All right. But something like an IndusInd Bank. Decent mover. All right. Not very fast, but not extremely bad as well. Autos move very well. Some of them. But something like Bajaj Auto is also moving in the current market. So Tata Motors also pretty sharp mover. So M&M is also doing good since a long time. So autos pretty good. But FMCG, large cap FMCG, something like Colgate, Dabur, all those things, stay away from them. They're not having the best of times, right? All right, Birla Cable. All right, Birla Cable has gone. Hmm. It's kind of still far from the demand, so I wouldn't advise. Narmada. Okay, this looks like a yeah. I cannot talk about such an illiquid stock here. Mankind Pharma is decent, not bad, not bad. Is on my watch as well. Mankind Pharma is not bad. Might go up. Rolex rings is a slow mover, I think. Does not move all that much. So even so, if you're buying it and it actually breaks out, just exit on a breakout, all right? Because it always stalls out. I traded this stock here, so I bought this stock right here, right on this candle. I mean, decent move, 10%, I think, 10-11%. So, but never went anywhere after that. So kind of a slow mover. If you get a breakout, just exit the stock, all right? Also, people who have joined recently, make sure that you like the stream as well. All right. So FCL. Okay, this is there is no entry here. Don't buy this. If it's sloping down and going back up, it can simply go back down from this. So don't buy this. The market seems kind of weak. Um, Small cap index, the momentum has really died down. Not how small caps move. This and maybe somewhere here, not how small caps move. And it will be reflected in your portfolio. So it's like uh, so your portfolio stocks will start to so index is not exactly breaking down, right? But you will see your breakouts are failing on your portfolio stocks. They're going up, coming down. Next day going up, coming back down. Again going up, coming back down. All these things will start to happen when the broader market depth is basically with broader market is basically sort of getting weak or getting in some sort of shape to pull back, right? So your portfolio will reflect these things. Don't ignore what your stocks are doing. Just don't treat them like a fixed, basically a fixed asset or something. You can actively judge what is going to happen next based on what your portfolio stocks are doing. Right. General insurance. Pretty good, pretty extended now. But if you bought in earlier, bought in here, maybe even here, good. Don't buy it now. Closer to supply than it is to demand. Risk to reward is bad here. What is again? Don't buy these stocks. These do not move properly. Look at how it moves. Look at this entire move. Even when it's going up, look at how it's moving. All right. Look at the number of days it spends in one range before giving a 5% breakup. Don't buy Fortis. You can buy better. And even this has stopped recently. Even this up move is not happening. Don't buy this. Again, for the people who have joined recently, make sure that you like this stream as well. Right. Birla Poly looks decent, but again, I have told you guys to avoid stocks like this, which have a lot of supply overhead. Rejects. And again, big rejection here, right? So not a soft rejection. Big rejection, big wick today. Avoid this stock. It might break down. It might actually do something like this. So might actually give a quick spike here and then go up. Can happen here. Avoid this. All right, gold. The gold has gone up from the monthly demand. Wow. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Don't exit it. It's uptrending. Monthly chart is uptrending. Weekly, obviously, uptrending, and daily is of course up. Don't exit it. Might take a few more weeks here, but I think it is headed up. Right. This was the monthly demand we had talked about. It was fresh into that demand. 20th October. Okay, we had talked about it on 13th October. This day. Pretty neat. Higher time frame. See, if you are not trading actively, higher time frame demand zones are literally what you need. Right? You don't need anything else. All right. So NetWeb actually you could have bought it from this area right here. But if you're still not in, don't jump in right now. Right? Because the demand zone is again at the lows. There's no demand. There's no demand here. So actually wait for something like this. I was expecting it to not break down and maybe form a range here where I would buy it, but that did not happen. Now, uh, sure. But again, this time it hasn't tested the demand, so again, nothing for me. Last time you asked about LNT short, okay? You said there are better stocks to short. Okay, so LNT, uh, okay, better stocks to short. So first of all, it should be below the 50 DMA. So let's find something. Okay, something like this. You want to spot the supply which has made the last low, and this is the supply where you want to look for your entries. Should be downtrending. Don't try to short in an up move, right? And you can try this short right here. Uh, Try to short when it's actually downtrending, right? So this is the supply which made the low. This is your short right here. And also short stocks which don't ever go up. So something like something like a Gale basically, or Hin Petro basically. All right, never goes up, always comes down with the market. Not the best of time for this stock. So try to find out stocks like this. This stock is also weak in a strong reality sector. It's also getting a bit weaker here. Petronet also never goes up, but it never falls as well, so you might avoid it. So whenever you're looking for a short, you can also look at uh, different sectors moving together. So so just like in longs, even in shorts, the sectors will fall together. So that will be an advantage as well. Hari Om pipe is actually very wide. It's very wide base. I have been watching this. I don't exactly like these kinds of trades. Because look at the width of the base. The demand is actually right here. This was very extended. If you have bought it, maybe you can hold it. Right now. Okay, this is heavily downtrending. I don't think this is above the weekly EMA as well. It's downtrending. Don't buy stocks until the weekly EMA starts to slope up. So biggest moves they will happen when the weekly EMA is sloping up. This one. As soon as it starts to turn around, done. Paramount Communication. This has gone up all the way. Avoid this. I don't like stocks which are just. It's basically pulling back, right? You want to see a higher low. You want to see a right hand side. This is not a base. It's still in a pullback. All right, Sonata Software. Okay, so I think I told you guys to avoid this because of this supply, lack of demand, and it's still the same. Don't buy it. There is no demand zone. Demand zone is here, right? So nothing here as of now. You can avoid this. This is actually okay. Capacite Infra. Okay, maybe. Uh, Looks good. Doesn't look bad. Probably goes up. I'm worried about this supply. Kirloskar, Ferris. Kirloskar stocks are going. Kirloskar stocks they're going up, but this is not. So don't buy this. And also let it take out the supply. So a higher low. This higher low is what you want. Don't buy it right here. Yeah, this is continuing to drop. Be careful here, guys. If it starts to break, start to exit. Your stocks will obviously break as well. Red tape is gone. It's gone now. Already moved a lot. On the oxides again, tested the supply pushing down. Not sure about this. You can avoid this. Probably below the hourly EMA as well, breaking these demand zones. So if you're already holding it, you can wait for it to break this entire area, because then that is a very assured exit, because below that it is gone. So you might want to break out. You might want to wait before that happens. Otherwise, if the market, let's say, it starts going up tomorrow, your stock might just go up again. Sangvi movers. Right. This looks good, but don't buy it here. If you see again and again it comes down, goes up, comes down. The proper entry is probably somewhere near the demand. Chart is decent. Nifty call. Don't do that. 17,600 call. I think you're talking about 19,600. But don't buy it. It's below the EMA, pushing through demand. Bank Nifty is weak. Exactly the market where you don't want to buy a call. Mankind Pharma is good. We have already talked about it. It was good. Para's defense is actually decent. I think I have talked about this supply right here. Is a bit concerning, and it is rejecting from there. So see, this is why I tell you guys not to buy at the supply, because as soon as you buy in here, it starts to come down, and from the demand it might go up. So if you have already bought, you can hold it. There's nothing wrong with it. What IRB at 33, forming a base listing breakout 3 days ago. All right, 33 is a bit late. Um, Base obviously has been forming a base, but this base does not matter, right? Uh, because basically the entire world has changed from here to here. So don't look at these big monthly bases; they don't matter all that much. You can obviously look at the all-time high, but what happens below it doesn't matter. It is moving up for other reasons. Basically, a lot of promoter buying, right? So we have also bought it in this range. So you can basically hold it, but the base is not the reason for the move. It has failed hundreds of times. So it has failed for an entire 5 year window before breaking out, 3 year window, 4 year. So base is not the reason for the move. All right, two, three more stocks, and then we will end the live. Sula Vineyards, again, avoid this. Just wait for the highest supply. FC, what at 322? Okay, not okay. Yeah, I don't know about this one. So you probably bought inside this candle. See, again, I've told you guys not to buy a breakout directly from a down sloping uh, channel, because things can fail here. Things can fail from the supply, which is somewhere here, right? So it can break out, it can fail. So it is rejecting, might not fail, but can fail. Hydrocare is downtrending. Don't buy it. This is extended. The demand for this is right here. Very extended here. Hydrocare, yeah, it's heavily downtrending. Right? On weekly EMA should be uptrending. Okay, last stock SC, again extended. So you see again it's sloping up. Don't buy these. Just basic concepts again and again. You guys want to go back and improvise on them, because every time it's the same doubts. Newland, okay, probably it will dip. So All right, last stock. Global education, don't buy this. Big rejection was from the supply, probably a lot of supply created already. So let it sort of flatten out. Don't buy it here. All right, guys, we will end the live now, and hopefully you learn something new, or not, you probably learned something which you already know. So make sure that you like the stream, you are sharing it, and if you have any doubts, you can ask it in the comments as well. Uh, I'll see you guys on next Friday. Good week.